Okay, and then like separate it kind of.
They look bad.
Alright, y'all, so I'm not even gonna beat around the bush. I'm gonna get straight into it. So this is the braiding hair that I want to use today. I usually use Cupid twist for a more natural lock looking look, but my client wanted to try this out and I'm all for new things. So I'm not sure if people still use braiding racks. I'm not a braider no more. I'm in the lock industry, but this is how I maximize the space on my braiding rack. You're going to place the hair regularly and then place the hair in between the two little stubs on the braiding rack. And then I love my gel holder. I personally cannot put gel on my hand. My skin in general is very sensitive, so that just ain't gonna work. But this gel is for the curly pieces that make the hair look like boho. To make the style look like boho. So this is the most time consuming part of prepping the hair, and this is why I like to have the hair on deck so that I don't have to do this when my client come in. But you really want to smooth that gel out in the hair because this is what holds the pieces together. And this is why we charge so much for these boho styles, because that don't take time, and I do not miss being a braider. I don't know about y'all, but if you're a braider, let me know, bro, because I don't know how y'all do it. But enough of me rambling, we're going to get into the tutorial. So the first step is to retwist the locks. I'm going to show you how to retwist the locks a little later in the video. But to start braiding, you want to label your 3 sections. Put them in 3 sections. Label it left, right, and middle. So we're going to hold the left section in your left hand, and your right section in the right hand, and the middle section resting in between your 2 fingers. So you're going to take the right strand, bring it under, or the left strand, and bring it underneath the middle strand. And take the middle strand, that becomes the new left strand. Then you're going to take the right strand and bring it under the middle strand, and now that middle strand becomes the left strand. That is the most easiest way I could give y'all a braiding tutorial, but now I'm going to show you how to add the hair. So you're going to place the hair underneath the lock, and you're going to have the right side of the braiding hair in your right hand and the left side in the middle piece. And then you're going to continue braiding as if like it's regular braids. You want to make sure that the hair is matching the size of the locks, or your braids gonna look skimpy, they ain't gonna look thick enough. So as you can see here, you're going to eventually have to add more hair to make it match the size of the locks already there, so that gives it a natural look. So me and my client was talking about being a content creator, and if you're a content creator, drop one of your biggest struggles being a content creator.
But just recording content itself is a lot.
Then you gotta edit it.
Salute the girls who do this as their living.
Man, but it's different as you're living. Like,
no, like
you're getting paid. Right. Like, it's either you do it or you don't eat.
Right. Like, get up.
It's very important while you're retwisting locks to not pull any hairs that's already secure in another lock. This is how you cause breakage and thinning. And the next step is to place your comb at a slight angle and retwist it to the right. You're probably going to do this about 2 times maximum. And then to secure the hairs that are loose back into the lock, we're going to do a motion called locksmithing. This is when you glide the lock on your index finger and use your thumb as a guide to push it back. The next step is to palm roll. This is a motion where you're going to place the lock in between your 2 palms and literally roll it. That's it, like gliding the lock in between your palms. You can add as many locks as you want into the braid as long as you're dividing the locks into 3 sections to start your braid off. It's best to keep the roots as secure as possible so that while you're braiding, you're not loosening the roots and it looks like a fresh style, you know? But you're gonna see me keep a tight grip on the locks, and then you're also gonna see me do this motion that I'm gonna explain in just a few seconds. It's where I retwist the locks back into a secure position. So you're gonna see me kind of like twirl the locks between my fingers just so that it can tighten, quote unquote, tighten the style back up. You don't want the style to be tight, so ask your client if they're in any discomfort, and if you're doing it on yourself, please, no tight styles. And first of all, if you are a loctician, you're not asking your client if they're comfortable while you're styling their hair, please start doing it, because lots of clients will not speak up.
No, and then you ain't gonna have no like personal retention. Like, you're not thinking about like, oh, like this is how I need to
long
my
term.
taxes.
Yep.
Like,
come on.
This is how I need to write this off. You thinking you can just make straight up cash? No, IRS is gonna come get you. You can't do that. that. You can't just exist and make all this cash money and deposit it into your bank account, and then the bank's not gonna be like,
oh, okay, you good.
so you need to
legally.
So now you can't go get this apartment you want. You can't go buy that car. You can't go get this house because you aren't.
You're not a legal entity. You don't exist.
Right, like you don't exist. You don't have no LLC. You don't have no EIN. You're not writing things off. You know.
You literally don't exist.
You only take cash. Is watching. The bank knows. They've called the IRS. You just don't know.
But they'll be knocking soon.
Real soon. That's what I'm like. You gotta learn certain things. Like even if you don't do like a formal cosmetology, like of course there are certain like braiding and locks are something you don't have to go to cosmetology school to do.
I am a retired braider, so I do not braid fast and I do not braid the neatest anymore. And I feel like you don't have to braid the neatest since they are locks tend to be quote unquote what people call messy. So don't try to keep all the hairs in place. Like it's okay if a few hairs come out of place, but my dryer time is 10 to 15 minutes, medium heat. You can put up the high and drop the dryer time, but in this part I'm raking out the curls. You don't have to do this, but it just helps so that when your client get home they not tangled, because they don't be taking care of their curls like they should. So do it for them before they leave. Yeah.
And he essentially like he didn't know she was white. And then he talked to AD when they were in Mexico. He really liked that girl. They actually were a good match. Because for me, I thought he was a little gay. Aspects of an interracial relationship sat incorrectly with him as well.
Dang.
Because then he was like, you know, there is like black love was found on this show.
I mean, I respect it.
And I came like, you know, like me, I know for certain I'm looking for black love. AD, the black girl. Where she basically was like, what is your family gonna think? What's her family gonna think? You know, the time and age that we live in, we do have to be very mindful and thoughtful of having interracial children.
That's really a topic for another day, but let me give y'all a story time about how boiling water literally gives me PTSD. So back when I was a braider, I was doing this lady's braids. I notified her that I was about to dip her hair, and I had the boiling hot water. First mistake. I had the hot water sitting on my leg, and while I was about to dip the hair, the lady got scared and she moved, and the water spilled all of my leg. Still have the scar to this day. This braid over lock style literally ate down, and I hope y'all love seeing how I slayed this protective style. It's giving everything it was supposed to give, but the real reason behind this style is for my brand photo shoot. I added a little sneak peek to keep y'all guessing, but trust me, you don't want to miss the full behind the scenes vlog dropping soon. Subscribe for more and see y'all in the next video. Bye!